Hi boys and girls, my name is Harwell. I'm the Fire Marshal with the City of Perrysburg Fire Division. We're currently in the Fire Safety Trailer because it's Fire Safety Week. October is always Fire Safety Week, and we wanted to bring it back into the Fire Safety Trailer to give you some safety tips to prevent fires in your home. Right now we're currently in our kitchen. I'm going to give you a lot of different safety tips in regards to the kitchen. The kitchen is typically where most of our house fires start. Not only is that true in the city of Perrysburg, but that's true nationwide. So there's a lot of dangers in the kitchen, and I want to start with a few of them here. Back behind me we have an oven that you'd see in your home. We have a stove top and an oven down below. On the stove top, I mean, who doesn't love macaroni and cheese, right? I know I do. Mom and Dad might make you some macaroni and cheese, fill this pot full of water, and put it on the stove like this. You think that's the right thing to do, is just set the pot right here on the stove like that? If you answered no, you were correct. The reason is this pot handle over the front of the stove here can be knocked over. Little boys and girls can come and grab it, and the water could splash down on their face and burn them or their body. Parents can catch it on their clothes, animals, you name it. So if you ever see this, make sure you tell Mom and Dad to turn the handle out away from the front of the stove. Okay, that's very, very important. The other thing we love is the smell of homemade cookies, right? I'm sure you've smelled it in your house and you want to smell it. Well, a lot of times what people will do is they'll get excited and open up the oven and look in to smell those cookies and take a look at them. But that's always a bad idea, because that steam and heat could come up and rise and burn your face as well, okay? So what we always recommend, and only with the guidance of your parents, if you want to open the oven, you stand to the side, you open it up, let that heat and that steam rise, and then you can look in to check on those cookies and to smell the yummy goodness, okay? Very important. So the other thing, Mom and Dad, might be cooking, okay? Wiping their hands, get distracted, throw it on the cooktop like that, whether it's gas or electric. Is that a good idea? And if you answered no, you're correct, because this right here could start a fire in no time. So we always want to make sure we keep our towels and rags, paper towels, everything away from the cooktop. So another thing we want to talk about is if there ever was a fire on your cooktop, okay? A lot of times you're cooking with grease, that grease catches on fire. What we never want to do is, you always see the fire department, you always think, oh man, they always put water on the fire. Okay, in this instant, we don't ever want to do that, because that could splatter and spray that fire across the counter, okay? So what we want to do is make sure Mom and Dad knows that you always want to smother the fire. Cover it with a lid, turn the oven off, turn the stove off to take away that heat. Very important as well. We have microwaves, but we always want to make sure that we keep only approved containers in there to cook in there. You never want to put metal, tin foil, any kind of forks or spoons or anything like that, okay? Because that could cause a fire. If there ever was a fire in your microwave, just turn it off, keep the door closed, and the fire will go out, okay? Same thing with the oven. If your oven ever catches on fire inside, make sure Mom and Dad just simply shuts off the electricity or the gas and keeps that door closed, okay? Very important. These are all great tips for the kitchen. A couple other things I want to talk about. Back behind me, we have a fire extinguisher, okay? We always want to make sure we have a fire extinguisher in our home. It's that red bottle behind me. That's also very important, because if Mom and Dad can put out that fire before it spreads, the easier it is for us to come in and clean it up afterwards, okay? So we want to make sure that Mom and Dad always have a fire extinguisher. And if older boys and girls, if Mom or Dad wants to show you how to use them, you're always more than welcome. The acronym that we like to use is called PASS, which stands for pull the pin, aim, squeeze the handle, and sweep. Okay, back and forth until that fire is out. Very important. Other items we want to be aware of is make sure if we have crock pots and toasters and things like that on the stove, that heat can radiate. We want to make sure that we move it away from the bottom of the cabinets. Okay. We also want to make sure we don't overload our circuits. Make sure we don't plug, a toaster, everything all into one and make a big mess, because that could be a potential fire hazard as well. And the last thing I want to talk about, boys and girls, is poison control. Okay, we want to make sure that a lot of times they'll take their cleaners and their soaps and everything and put it down in the bottom of the cabinets, but we want to always make sure the mom and dad keep them up high. Okay, very important that we don't, those pods that people like to put in their dishwasher, we want to make sure that those don't get in the hands of little boys and girls, and we want to put them in their mouth thinking that they're candy. Boys and girls, I hope this helped. This is a little bit of fire safety tips in the kitchen, very important, and we'll see you next time. Take care.